Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here in Antwerp on this rather rainy day. But we are going for another brew review today. And we are going to talk about a Dutch beer for a change. Today we are talking about the Lactic Fantastic Yuzu edition by the Kromme Haring. Now, the Kromme Haring is literally the crooked herring, like the fish, but I suspect that there is another meaning to it as well, but I haven't confirmed that yet, so we will be talking about that when I do a brewery breakdown about them. They are from Utrecht. I hope to visit them someday soon. And there's actually not much that I can tell you about this beer that's not right there on the bottle, so I'm just gonna start going over the bottle itself. I do love this label just like any other label by the Kromme Haring, because they do stand out in a bottle shop or in a beer shop, because they have those nice plain white labels with a specific drawing on it, and they have a recurring fish theme, and they always have this nice little square with a drawing in it with some fish, and that same font every time. I like that font as well. So the Kromme Haring Brew Pub, the Lactic Fantastic Bread Sour with Yuzu. So that tells us this is a bread sour, a sour ale re-fermented with a Brettanomyces yeast, and with added Yuzu. Yuzu being an Asian, I believe even Japanese, citrus fruit, which is sort of like a blend between lemons, oranges and tangerines, more or less. It is a 5.2% ABV beer. It is brewed with pale malts, wheat, oat and Munich malts, their in-house yeast, and like I said, the Yuzu fruit. Now, the story about the Lactic Fantastic, in short. Lactic Fantastic is our sour fruit beer series. The base beer is a soured pre-boil with lactobacillus and fermented with our house blend yeast, which contains multiple Brettanomyces and Saccharomyces strains. The fruit is added in royal but not overwhelming amounts, differing with each fruit, and the result is a fruity sour beer that is refreshing and balanced, with the yeast character providing depth and evolving flavors. This is the summer edition of 2021, where they added beautiful organic yuzu juice. Well, there you go, couldn't have said it better myself. Now this is a 37.5 centiliter bottle, but it is not corked, it is just crowned, so let's get right to it. And I have to drink it right now because it's almost at its best before date. Ooh, very aromatic. Smells nice enough. Ooh, lovely color. Yeah, that is a very nice color. It's a golden orangey color with some, like a bit of pink in there even, which is odd. Some nice white, just off-white foam, medium density bubbles, a lot of bubbles though, nice and active. And that does smell like a sour ale. It actually even smells like an old goose, which is something I wouldn't have expected. Quite acidic. And it's actually a combination of that lactic acid and citric acid. So no vinegar, but still quite sour. But also a lot of citrusy smells in there, like tangerine, like orange, a bit of lemon, but also some candy, candy smells. And I don't mean sugary smells, but like citric candy. The head dissipates rather quickly, which is not uncommon with beers like these. However, yeah, compared to other sour ales or lambics or gueuze, the effervescence in this beer is quite high. A lot of bubbling in there. Nice tiny pearls. But just like with an old gueuze, I get a bit of straw in there as well. So yeah, up until now, I'm very, very happy with this beer. So cheers. Let's see what changes, if anything. Oh, wow. Yeah, that is sour. I do get a lot of citric acid in there. I immediately get this idea of cooking with this beer. That should be awesome, like making a nice a honey vinaigrette with this beer instead of like lemon or orange. But on the other hand, it might be a shame to use a beer like this in a sauce. Ooh, the resemblance to gueuze is uncanny. I really get some straw in there. I really get some stable-like features in there. I'm getting, like I said, that citric acid. But on the other hand, which is not very much like gueuze, I'm getting a bit of lemon, but also tangerine in there. I was expecting some grapefruit, but that's not in there at all. Yeah, I would say this is somewhere in between an old gueuze and a young lambic. It's like a gueuze with like very, very high amounts of young lambic actually. And that combined with quite a lot of carbon dioxide in here. And what I find very interesting is that, and I should blame that or attribute that to the house blend of yeast. There's a myriad of different flavors in this beer, and that normally very outspoken Brettanomyces flavor that we have, that we often compare to Orval, for example, is actually quite subtle in this beer. So it's actually the acidity and then the yeasty flavors, the bread flavors, and then a tiny bit of sweetness and some fruity aromas. But it does act like a gueuze as well. So, yeah. I find this a very, very interesting beer, and now I really want to visit that brew pub. So overall, very nice beer. Yeah, let's get to a verdict already. I absolutely like this beer. I didn't know what to expect, so it was easy to exceed my expectations. But nonetheless, this is a very nice beer. I am intrigued by the combination of different yeast strains at the same time, because normally beers like these are brewed and cooked, then fermented with oftentimes a Saccharomyces yeast strain, and then they are re-fermented with a Brettanomyces yeast strain while adding the fruit and everything. And that lactobacillus being added pre-boil is also a very a very odd touch. So I am very curious to their brewing process, because there are some things that I don't quite grasp at first instance. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to pay them a visit. Anywho, yeah, very nice beer, lovely taste, a very lovely smell. Even more so now that the foam is gone. Now it's mainly fruity and candy-like, and the acidity has lied down for a while now. At least in the smell, not in the taste. Absolutely lovely color. And that mouthfeel as well. It's quite thin, as you would expect with a sour ale, but still it gets everywhere, and yeah. Very nice. You guys know that I love balance in my beers, and this is indeed a very balanced beer. So yeah, I'd call this a 4. It's not gonna be my favorite beer. Of course, we know a lot of beers, so it's very hard to have one favorite. But the quality and the complexity of this beer and the originality, and yeah, this deserves at least a 4. Okay, all that being said, yeah, I'll pay them a visit. You guys pay them a visit as well if you get the chance. If you find these beers, they might be a bit on the expensive side, but absolutely try one out. And yeah, as usual, if you guys like this video, let me know, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Also, if you have any questions or remarks, comment section is the place to be. And if you want to see more, just subscribe, hit the bell icon, and you'll be the first to get a notification whenever I upload anything, which should be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. All that being said, I'll see you guys after the weekend. Cheers, you guys.